Hi, this is Champlet2 on the PlayStation Network. This video will show you the 5 rare unaffiliated gang cars, the upgrades they have, their sale value, and when and where to find them. I'll show you what bait cars I used to spawn them and the routes I took. Here you see the cars exactly as I found them, except for adding my personal license plate. Later in the video, I'll show you where to find the regular gang cars, such as the yellow Vagos, the family green cars, and the ballless purple gang cars, in case you don't already know where they are, so you can use those for bait cars to get these rare unaffiliated versions. I know there are already some videos on YouTube about these cars, they're not new, but I found some of those videos were missing important details and even had a little misinformation. So I thought I'd share my analysis on this subject with you in this video. There's 2 locations where these rare cars spawn. One is here on the southeast side of the map, just north of the big ammunition that has the shooting range, and it'll either be parked here on the side of the road in front of Olsen's Autos or coming out of this little alley next to it. The other location is in Davis on Grove Street, and I wanted to show you a little bit about this spot. When I was looking through the videos about these unaffiliated gang cars that were already on YouTube, somebody had this where you could walk into the one next door. I just thought this was kind of cool, and I'd give the guy credit if I could remember which one it was, but just thought I'd show you that while I was here. But the cars will be pulling out of this driveway that has the graffiti on the door. And you could try parking a bait vehicle across the street here and leave it. Sometimes that helps spawn them. Well, now let's take a look at the times. Now, when I was working on this video, I was finding that all of the gang cars, including the regular yellow, green, and purple ones, were a little harder to find than they used to be. But I was having a lot better luck in this particular day, or a couple of days that I was working on this, over here at the Olsen's Autos. So I can tell you for sure what time they start and end here. Can't really tell you that for sure over at Grove Street, because quite honestly I was having trouble finding hardly any of them over there, as you'll see in this video. But you can see there on the phone it's a little bit after 7 a.m. and I've got a friend doing VIP work. And as I round the corner, there's a car coming out of the alley, and it's the rare red Peyote. So if it's a little bit after 7, you can probably assume that they start showing up at 7 a.m. And then in this same location, I'm coming at it from a different angle. I'm coming up from the south on the street right next to the main drag, and it's much later in the evening here after 1900, and when I come up here to the intersection and round the corner, you'll see one waiting for me on the sidewalk, or well, on the curb next to the sidewalk. So you can assume this with this that they probably come until, gosh, 2000 sounds stupid, 8 p.m. basically. So there's another manana. So 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now here I just wanted to show you, I've just stolen a random manana off the street. This one's not upgraded at all. And I'm going to use this to go over here into one of the gang areas. I happen to be in the Vagos area right now. And I'm going to look for one of their cars that I can use as bait. And I'll cover later in the video all the different places you can find these, just in case you're not aware of where they are. But for now, I'm just going to grab this one. And thankfully, it's not there in the middle of the apartment parking lot, because there's a lot of Vagos guys there who would love nothing more than to have a good reason to shoot you. So I'm going to steal this car and see what we can get with it. I'm going to take it over to the east side over by Olsen's Autos, and there's nobody here right now, no good cars. So I'm going to drive down here to the street where the 4 trailers contact mission is. I'm going to turn right here. I think the foundry is down here somewhere. There's where 4 trailers is, there on the right in that big parking lot right there. And this is just one of the routes that I use when I'm over here by Olsen's Autos. I'm going to come around here down this corner and then up a block and go back north. Now this street that I'm turning on here, you can come at the cars either from the south side here like I am going north, or if you take the same road on the opposite side and keep going up north to around the Frigid factory and come back. You can either come back on this street or on the main drag. Either way, they're great routes up there under that flag. And this is where you'll find them, here in front of Olsen's. So this is the purple Manana. And you've noticed I'm driving a Manana and it spawned another Manana. That's not always the case, but it happened to be what I got this time. You'll see it's got a really sharp looking paint job. It looks like it's probably shafter purple with a hot pink pearlescent. And several upgrades. You can kind of see them as I'm walking around, but I'm going to take it over to the custom shop and show you exactly what's been upgraded on this vehicle and what it's worth if you want to sell it. So here we go. Oops. And here we come into the custom shop with the custom purple Manana. This is the unaffiliated gang car because it's not green, yellow, or regular purple. And I should have, I think, a minor repair to do. And now we'll check this car out. So you can see under bodywork, it's got the painted chrome and fender skirt there versus no upgrade. And there's stock brakes. Under the front bumpers, you see it's got this lower lip as opposed to the stock front bumper. Here's the curb feelers. Actually, they're kind of on the side. There they are, versus without. The engine bay is stock. And there's dual shotgun exhaust rather than the stock exhaust. And the fenders, we have the arch flames there in the front. So you can see it's got quite a few upgrades, including these headlight grills. And we're going to take a look here at the paint. It was kind of tough to determine what paint this was. I was going to try to match it, but it basically just shows you by me choosing metallic that it's not a standard paint color. The transmission is stock, there's no turbo, and the wheels are, I believe, yes, low rider, but they are the 7.5s upgrade as opposed to these are the stock wheels that normally come on a Manana, and they've also been colored gold. And finally, we have limo on the windows, which you can't see now because they went down when I pulled into the custom shop. So you can sell this car for $7,520, which isn't a whole lot of money. You can steal cars right off the street for more than that, but still, it's a nice looking car and a lot of fun to have. Here you see I've helped myself to a Vagos yellow Peyote, and that guy wasn't happy about it. And as I come up here to Olsen's, there's a green Buccaneer here. This is the rare unaffiliated car. And again, this proves the point that just because I'm in a Peyote doesn't mean I'm gonna get a Peyote. It has a lot to do with the cars you see driving around. Like right now, you'll probably see a lot of Buccaneers on the street. I think there might be one. Nope, that's a Manana. So you just have to pay attention to what's driving around, and that'll tell you what you might get. So here we are taking this custom Buccaneer into the custom shop, and we'll find out what upgrades it has and how much it's worth if you want to sell it.
Here for the magic touch?
This is one of the vehicles that can be upgraded at Benny's, so it might be kind of neat to start with this custom one that already has a few upgrades. Here's the bumpers. This is the custom chin spoiler versus the stock front bumper, and there's the de-chromed rear bumper versus the stock, and that's the wheelie bar, the option that's available. For the grille, it's got the custom front grille instead of the stock. And the hood is the vented hood rather than the stock hood. And there's some of the other options you can get for it. The roof, it has the painted roof, but you can go with the stock roof that looks like leather. And you'll notice this paint, it's a matte finish with a pearlescent on top. And that's pretty unusual because you can't do that by default. You can't put a pearlescent on a matte finish. So you can see there, if I choose a different color, that's the primary color is on top. And then the secondary color appears to be a metallic dark green. But the top, it's some shade of green with a matte green with a pearlescent on it. Really sharp looking paint. And there's competition suspension, which is nice. And then for the wheels, these are of the muscle type. They're the drag SPL, as opposed to, here's what the stock wheels would look like for a Buccaneer. And they're also colored gold. And the windows have the limo upgrade. So if you steal this car off the street and want to sell it, the sale price is $9,975. Almost $10,000. Not bad. It's a little more than most of what you can steal off the street easily. So now you see I've got a yellow Vagos hardtop Tornado. Now this is important. For most of the cars, it seems like you can just spawn pretty much any of these rare unaffiliated cars with any of them. But if you're really looking for a hardtop Tornado, you need a hardtop Tornado to spawn it. Later you'll see the soft top or convertible Tornado. You need the soft top to spawn that one. So here we are. I just finally found one at Grove Street. And this is the absolutely gorgeous blue hardtop Tornado. Now you notice I'm kind of letting him drive away a little bit. That's because there's a whole lot of ballast guys on that street. And they're just itching for a fight. So I'm going to let him pull away over here where there's not so many guys that can shoot me. And I'm going to take it here and drive away. Now you'll notice he starts shooting at me. You'll have to expect to get some injuries and some damage when you're doing this. It helps to try to get the car away from the crowds and steal it then, and you'll take less damage and less injury. So let's take it into the custom shop and find out what upgrades this one has and what it's worth. I do have some damage here that will have to be repaired. This is another one of the vehicles that can be upgraded at Benny's. So again, this might be neat to kind of start with this vehicle because it's already got a few upgrades on it. So after we do the repair, you'll see there's just a stock front bumper. And for the exhaust, we have the side exit rather than the stock exhaust. For the fenders, we have the fender skirts and chrome detail, as well as the fender ornaments, which are here on the front. And then it has the classic hood instead of the stock hood. And other than that, the only other upgrade is the wheel. The rims, I should say. It's triple golds as opposed to the stock wheels. I don't believe it had any transmission or suspension upgrades. There's the limo windows. But I forgot to look here. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. If you sold it, it's $8,050 you'll get for it. So not a whole lot, but it's still a sharp looking car. And now we'll take a look at the convertible version. So here I've found a soft top convertible from the Vagos, and I'm using it again over here at Olsen's looking for, it's sort of a silver soft top Tornado. You notice there I'm driving past a Peyote. So pay attention and you'll see some of the similar cars, the street versions of the cars on the road, and that'll give you an idea of what you might expect to find. There you'll see the car just pulled out of the alley. And sure enough, it's the gray or silver. Actually, it's probably some shade of gray. Convertible. And look, she opened it up for me. Wasn't that nice? So I'm going to grab this and we'll take it into the custom shop and see what it's worth. Just like the hardtop Tornado, this one can also be upgraded at Benny's. And as I recall, because I believe I did this myself a while back, if you start with this convertible version and take it to Benny's for an upgrade, it remains a convertible. So you may save a little bit on your upgrades, at least you won't have to modify it to become a convertible. So it has the stock front bumper and the short exhausts on the side instead of the stock exhaust. And with the fenders, it has the fender and chrome detail. There's the stock. Whoops, it moved it to the front. There you go. So you can see there's the upgrade. And it also has the fender ornaments like the blue one did there in the front. And when we get out of here, we will check the hood, which in this case is the stock hood. And I was messing around with the primary color here, trying to see if I could figure out what it was. I'm sure it's got to be somewhere in the metallic family. It doesn't look like a matte finish. It's too shiny. And the secondary color, I believe, changes the soft top. So I don't believe it had any transmission upgrades. I neglected to check that. Here I was trying to figure out which wheels it had on it, and it appears to have lowrider wheels, the lead sled upgrade, rather than these are the stock wheels that normally come on the Tornado. And finally, it also has the limo upgrade on the windows, which again you can't see very well because the windows are down in the custom shop. This convertible Tornado sells for $12,575. Here we are again south of Olsen's, and I'm driving a car I stole from the family. It's just a plain green Buccaneer, not the custom one with the special paint, just a regular one. And clearly I have a blown tire there, so I'm driving on the rim. I was thinking of requesting a personal vehicle, but I didn't need to because when I rounded the corner, I found a car. And it is the absolutely gorgeous red Peyote. What I wouldn't give if Rockstar would make this a Benny's car, because it is such a sharp looking Peyote. It has a really rare paint job. Again, this isn't one you can easily do yourself, except for, I think there's a paint glitch that'll let you put a pearlescent on a matte finish, but it's not all that easy to do. But we'll go take this to the custom shop and look at it. And you can see you don't get any resistance generally when you pick up cars here at Olsen's, but just like stealing any car, sometimes you get the cops. So I'm going to call Lester because I'm just not in the mood to deal with him.
Why, hello, how you doing? How can I help? Okay,
now we'll go
I'll
on
get you
to
out
the
of
custom
trouble.
shop.
No problem.
Such a beautiful car. This is the highest value of the 5 rare unaffiliated gang cars in terms of sale value, probably because it has a lot of upgrades. Notice there the tinted windows. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Now that I've repaired it, the windows are down. We're going to look at the front bumper. It's got the de-chromed front bumper instead of the stock one. And in the rear, it's got the de-chromed bumper with the spare as an upgrade. Next, we'll look at the chassis. It says Los Santos plaque, but it's actually Los Santos is what it says there behind the back seat. And there's the other option, the Los Santos Customs. It's got the chrome tip exhaust instead of the stock. There, you can see it. And for the fenders, you've got the little curb feelers there. For the grill, it has the lead sled grill, which is pretty cool looking compared to the stock or these other options. The hood is the cowl induction hood, and there's the stock and the other options. As for the paint, I just went in here to show you if I choose matte, it doesn't come up. If I choose metallic, it doesn't come up. And that's because it's something special. They've got a special paint job on there, and they won't just tell you exactly what color that is. So I believe it's dark red with a Torino red pearlescent. There you can see it does have the competition suspension and the stock transmission. No turbo, by the way. And in the lowrider type, it has the big worm wheels, and they're colored gold as compared to there's the stock wheels. But you can't get to a windows option. It's not there past wheels. We saw that it has the tinted windows, but it's just not there. It is an upgrade, and it is there. So it's got, the value is $12,940 for the Peyote. And then finally, that's all 5 of the cars, but I just wanted to show you one more time, capturing a car here in Davis at Grove Street. I'm driving a stolen yellow Vagos Buccaneer, and there goes the custom Buccaneer, the unaffiliated one. And again, I'm just going to let it go around the corner, get away from the ballast guys, because I don't want to get shot. And then I'm going to pull here in front of him and snag it. That's a really sharp looking Buccaneer. Would make a great one to upgrade at Benny's. Finally, we'll take a look at where the regular gang cars are located in case you need to find them to use for bait. And here we are at the Vagos apartment complex in Davis. You can see there's a big parking lot here in the middle where you find some cars. There's also 2 smaller lots on the east side of the apartment complex. Here's one with a Manana, and then if I turn, there's one with a Buccaneer. Both are on the east side of the apartments. And then on the west side, there's also another small lot. So you can find them all around this apartment complex in Davis. Here at the end of Grove Street is where you'll find the ballast purple cars. These guys are pretty vicious though, just like the Vagos. If you want to do it the easy way, come up here to the other end of Grove Street where the family is. These green cars are really easy to get. And finally, there's a really nice 6-car garage right on the main drag there in Gangland that's great for storing these cars while you're stealing them. You can put some gang cars in there to use for bait until you find the ones you want, and it's a really affordable garage. Well, that's it for our unaffiliated rare gang cars, and here you can see them one more time. Thank you so much for watching. A like for the video and a subscription to my channel would be greatly appreciated. And one final tip, bring your patience with you when you're looking for these. Sometimes it can take a long time to find them, but they're worth the hunt. They're really beautiful cars. Have a great day in Los Santos and happy car hunting.